I welcome you all. The subject for today's talk is separate statehood for Kashmir. We all remember the parliament decision to reorganize the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories. While the erstwhile state has been reorganized into two union territories of Leh Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir, it has also paved way for possibilities in demographics of a region. Leh, as it tends, is now a new entity under the Republic, and the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir favors its right to be a state again. At this point, while it continues to be Union Territory, I would like to put forward an idea for general consideration. We are in favor of reorganizing the UT of Jammu and Kashmir into two separate states of Kashmir and Jammu, with Muslim majority and ethnic Kashmiri districts, including our Chenab region, forming the state of Kashmir, and the areas of our Dogra brothers and Hindu majority districts as a state of Jammu. I contend that our brothers from Jammu region have already showed their liking and favor for the idea of a separate state of Jammu, and rightly so. While that part of erstwhile state is forming its consensus on this issue through resolutions like Jammu Declaration, I find it very surprising that I hear no voice from my own region to such an aspiring idea, except my own. Since the reorganization of the erstwhile state, we have been voicing this aspiring idea of a separate statehood for Kashmir and Jammu. Through this video, my aim is to put forward the idea of a separate statehood of Kashmir to my own ethnicity. As we know, Kashmir is an ancient place with history going back to Bronze Age. The history of our human civilization goes back to the time of hunting and gathering. Our forefathers inhabited the surrounding areas of the ancient lake Satisar. Our human civilization dates back to our first rulers, the Nagas. The ancient site of Burzahama defines our culture and rich ancient history. Through ages, we have come through different forms of our religion and finally accepted into mercy through the beloved last and final prophet. One more aspect of our ancient history is our shared history with the mainland Hind. We have shared the subcontinent together as a one and as our own. Our connection with modern Indian Republic is of ancient roots. Acknowledging this native race of Kashmiri people will acknowledge our shared history and cherish our future dreams together. Reorganizing Kashmir as a separate state, as the only Muslim majority state, will give impetus to the emotional and infrastructural developments of the folks and of our region. In same case, reorganizing Jammu as a Dogra state will acknowledge the ruler race of Dogra and their service to the nation. Some voices can be heard against such a decision, stating that it will destroy the social fabric of our erstwhile state and economy of two regions. But such reasoning is not logical, because first, although we have a common shared history, but the cultural differences between two races show a variety of our ways of life, and both races strive to preserve this native identity independently. And also, we are not asking for cancellation of interstate interactions or services, but we are requesting to upgrade these two regions to the administrative setup of two states, giving these two races of Kashmiri and Dogra regions the status of separate states and separate identity, native identity in the Republic. That's what we demand. As such, it will not only increase the productivity potential and development among two states, as the administrative setup will not have to divide the resources between two different systems, but will focus their resources in a very concentrated manner. The potential of development will increase manifold with such decision. At times, we have seen politicians and citizens from both these regions talking about the advantages of one region and disadvantages of their own in the resource distribution. Jammu always feels that it has been held hostage to Kashmir, and we in Kashmir do not understand what Jammu is talking about. If Kashmir was as infrastructurally developed as Jammu will be thankful. Such contentions have always been there and will continue until separated into two states. Reorganizing these two states will put these contentions and other issues at ease among the people of these two regions, giving way to mutual cooperation in nation building. As I have already stated, the leaders of Jammu have already realized the situation and present timing where Jammu and Kashmir is continuing to be a union territory. It is the apt time to push forward the idea of a separate state. And I totally support the idea and further this idea that Muslim majority districts of erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir be reorganized as separate state of Kashmir. Why should Kashmiri people push for a separate state and republic? The problems that are inside our society far outweigh the external problems. Our social structure is decimated. Our moral values zero. Our political setup a mistress to the traditional political system. Our culture is dead and our children oblivious. And those crying for the separation from the republic are the people in denial and delusional. Follow that and you will successfully ruin what you have left and ruin your future generations. There is no real growth happening by running in circles because you finish right where you have started from. Recent and old failures in our polity ask for a new strategy and policy to try and secure us our advantage as a native race. What we want right now is direction and focus. We can focus on our social development when we concentrate our society and follow a path accepting the true states of our affairs. A separate state recognizing our ethnicity will provide all these and time to improve our society and secure for our children a better future. Separation from Jammu will in no way affect our economy or social interactions. It will increase our chances of infrastructure and social development, both in Jammu and Kashmir. With ethnicity and focus, two states of Jammu and Kashmir will reach new heights of social and infrastructural development, minus the interdivisional politics that used to thwart the political development in the state, erstwhile state. Kashmir must push for a separate statehood through proper channels and also support the demand of our Dogra brothers for a separate state of Jammu. This is very achievable and very proper demand to ask from central government. Kashmir must push for a separate state to secure the culture and our way of life, the values of our core community, Kashmiriyat. Why should center recognize Jammu and Kashmir as two different states? Since independence of our nation, the region of Kashmir has proved a credibility point for our secular nature as a Muslim majority region, and as such have been acknowledged throughout the world as pearl in the secular democratic system of our country, and truly so. With major changes in international politics and geopolitics of our region, liberal democracies failing and right-wing policies gaining momentum in the world and around us, providence through the will of people exert the influence on the social and political direction and aspiration of any nation. The whole power in our system flows through we the people, and the citizens feel and they steer the nation to such end by casting their votes in favor of the ideologies they feel relevant to the national political direction. And at the same time, at the time of our being, a history is happening in the world and in our region. The direction mainland Hind is moving towards, and such an ideological shift from secular to religious is the right of people, its citizens, and constitutional in its own right. While Kashmir, with its mutual history connected to the mainland, as its sole Muslim majority state, has served the past secular nature with a credibility point in the international arena. Kashmir, in the present course of our national direction, can serve as a major credibility point for a Hindu majority country as its sole Muslim majority Muslim ruled state. Kashmir as a separate state, recognized as a Muslim ruled state, can steer the national cause internationally, and the situation as such provides Kashmir with an incredible chance to shine and benefit. With our natural native identity preserved. Set an example, Kashmiri Muslims can organize fellow Muslim citizens of the subcontinent of the Republic to a prosperous, secure future. I always say that we are very fortunate to be born in Kashmir and in such time in human history. Kashmir, with our rich history, with rich religious and spiritual history, our way of life, Kashmir as a separate state can be a beacon for the Muslim citizens of the Republic, taking along our religion, culture into a better future for our region. I hope this comes to pass. Thank you.